Breastfeeding Week, and the World Alliance for Breastfeeding Action, that's WABA, in partnership with UNICEF and the WHO, leads this year's commemoration in an effort to sensitize its community. The Swakopmund District Hospital, under the Ministry of Health and Social Services, will be educating, or rather had gone on a campaign to educate the Irongo region community to strengthen breastfeeding knowledge and support. Now, joining us to talk to us on this matter is Dietician Ridow-Ann Jasmine English. Good evening and welcome, Ridow-Ann. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
To start with, Jasmine, there's a saying that says that breast is best. Please elaborate on why this saying is true.
Yes, breast is best was a phrase started to just empower and encourage women who choose to breastfeed their babies. So it was created with the intention in mind to not just bring, awareness that there's benefits for the mother, there's benefits for the baby, but also to bring awareness that breastfeeding is best for the economy, it's best for the environmental health, it's best for sustainability, and so many other factors that breastfeeding has above other alternative feeding methods.
Talk to us about Thank you so much. Jasmine, talk to us about the guidelines that you use, to educate women and the public on the importance of breastfeeding.
Our guidelines come from the WHO and the UNICEF guidelines, which is globally known as exclusive breastfeeding up until the age of 6 months, adding no other fluids or drinks or food. And then complementary feeding starts from 6 months up until 2 years of age and 3 years of age, even with breastfeeding as a supplement.
Mm-hmm. In some parts of the world, Jasmine, breastfeeding is in public is often still frowned upon. Why is that the case? And also, how does, the Breastfeeding Week campaign, how did it help bust these myths associated with the notion that the practice is inappropriate in public?
Yes, it's so sad that that's still something that a lot of women struggle with, especially in this day and age. But I think it's just because of a lack of policies in place to protect and support women to breastfeed publicly. And that fear, that shame that's associated with it is also what makes it difficult for mothers to continue breastfeeding when they go back to work, for example, or when they go to a shop, or when they are sitting in church. And what we just encouraged them during this campaign was to express their breast milk, or to pump it out and to be able to leave their baby with breast milk when they are separated from their babies, but also just creating an environment where the mothers could sit with their babies and breastfeed without any judgment, just complete support and normalizing this. However, it's very easy to do that in a health facility, whereas other public spaces, it still isn't, it's still frowned upon, if you understand what I mean by that.
Yeah. Explain to us what the, term warm chain of support for breastfeeding is all about.
The warm chain of support is something that the WABA created to help the global sphere see that breastfeeding is not just between the mother and the baby. There are so many factors that contribute to whether a mother will sustainably breastfeed up until 3 years of age, or if she will stop at 3 months. And that warm chain is, community workers, the employer and union trades, churches, the family or fathers, the partners of the mother, even media. The media industry has the most influence. So I think they are the warmest of the warm chain to promote breastfeeding, like what you are doing right now on NBC. But another important structure is the government, putting policies in place for breastfeeding in hospitals, but also protecting breastfeeding when mothers go back to the workplace is so, so important, and they play a vital role in this warm chain.
Talk to us about, some of the stakeholders that were involved in the various activities during the breastfeeding, Global Breastfeeding Week, and also, what you undertook.
The support that we got from the Ministry of Health was mainly from the primary health care department. They provided us with incredible pamphlets and in different languages. So there was Oshihero, Oshivambu, Afrikaans, and English pamphlets that had all the breastfeeding information on. So we could reach different people from different backgrounds and different cultures, and the same message was spread across. So what was really important for us during this time was to get that message across, but also to provide the facilities with the pamphlets so that the message can continue, so that it's not just focused on this week of World Breastfeeding Week, but for the whole year, for years to come, that can sustainably still happen.
Yeah. Well, Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us this evening here on the Daily Roundup, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.